think success is for you. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you understand what it means to you first. Number one, what do you see success through your eyes? What do you see as for your life? Based on your abilities, based on the things that you love to do, based on the things that you like to be a part of. What do you see it as for yourself? Okay. And then if you're now sure about that, then you can't be, you're not going to be in a place where you're not sure. Hello, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. If you would like to know how to measure your success, or you may not even know what success looks like or feels like for you, you want to stick around and watch this video. We're going to talk about how to measure your success and some tips on how you can see what your success looks like in your eyes. So stick around, and please, if you have not yet subscribed, or if this is your first time here and you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button so you will not miss inspirational and motivational content. Are you successful? Do you consider yourself a successful person? Do you consider yourself successful? And we will definitely talk about different areas of success. But do you see yourself as a successful person? Do you consider yourself a successful? Are you successful in whatever area that you're in? Okay. Now, what defines success to you? What defines success to you? Is it what people say about you, or what you think about yourself? What do you consider success for yourself? A lot of times we define success by whatever we've accomplished in life. Like, you may have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree or whatever degree you may have. We define it by what we've accomplished. We own a business, or we have, we're a manager at a place, or different things. We normally define it or correlate that to the things that you have accomplished in life, right? And doing so, it gives you a sense of fulfillment to feel that you are above an average person. So if a person just has an associate's degree or a high school diploma or high school degree and don't have any type of college experience, then that person may not feel as fulfilled as the next person that may have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a doctorate or something like that, right? So we normally feel fulfillment when we reach that level, okay? But to really know what success entails is to change how you perceive your place in this world and in your life, okay? To really, really know how, okay, what success entails is a change in the way you perceive things. Always talk about being positive and thinking positively. And when you think that way, you don't have to have a college degree to feel successful. Okay, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later on, okay? A lot of people use wealth, like I said, wealth, your job title, happiness. These are the most common measures of success. If you're happy, you're successful. If you have a job title, a big job title, then you're successful. Or if you have wealth, if you have money in the bank, you consider that as successful. It is important to measure success the right way, okay? Because when you measure it the right way, it informs you how to spend your time and effort, right? So if you measure it the correct way, then your time, your effort, the things that you do, you will spend those time wisely, okay? If you don't measure success in terms of what's truly important to you, then you won't be able to work towards getting there. So if you're not measuring it the correct way, then you won't be able to get to that successful level that you are trying to get to, okay? Most people look at success is measured by like a prestige person, like I said, a position or properties or influences, etc. Maybe you have 1K subscribers or 1 million subscribers, right? And you figure you've reached, right? And then there's someone that may have just 400 subscribers, and they may consider themselves successful at that stage as well. Okay, so greatness or success is not is not measured by the quantity of things that you have, but by the quality of your abilities and the calling that's on your life. You may be called to be a speaker, or, you know, content creator, or anything. You may be called to be so many different things. A school teacher, right? It's measured by your abilities. Okay? We are all called for greatness. There's not one person on this planet that was not called to do something or to be something. We all have a space. We all have a space here. We all have a space. We all have a place to something to do. There's a capacity for you to fill. There's a space for you to fill. You're not just on earth taking up space. There's something for you to do that has great value. Okay, that has great value. You don't have to have what everybody else's have. You don't have to be in the same position, but your purpose is going to be fulfilled based on the calling that's on your life, or the space that you would take up. Take, for instance, David and Ruth. If many of you don't know the story of David and Ruth, David was a king. David slayed Goliath, and then you remember Ruth and Naomi. They were both called for greatness, right? But for different purposes. Okay, David was a king, and that is a great, you would say, success, but maybe just the calling was great. Then you had Ruth. She was just a maiden, but she had a purpose as well. She was called as well to fulfill the promises of God, right? They both were great and fruitful in the areas that God called them to be in, right? In their own way. And it was two different levels. You have a king and you just have a maiden. But they both had something that was important, that was of great value, that had quality, even though it was two different levels. Okay? The scripture in 1 Peter, hold on a second, guys. 1 Peter 10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have to serve others, right? As faithful towards stewards of God's grace in its various forms. And this is a different version, so I'm going to read it again. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Okay, so whatever gift you have, whatever talents that you may have, it's for a purpose, it's for a reason. Okay, it serves a great purpose. You may not see the impact of what you've done because it may not be great by the world's definition, right? You may not think that what you're doing, you're just talking, or you're just communicating, to people. Like, I come on here and I talk. You may not see the impact. You may not believe the impact. You may not think that the impact is it's doing anything, because you're looking at the way the world sees success. Okay? And most of the time, success to the world is you have a lot of money in the bank. You drive a nice car, you have a big house, or you have something that is, extensive, a big job, degrees, and that's what you define as success. But it can be in so many different ways, right? In the case of Ruth and David, two different areas, but they both fulfilled their purpose. They both were great in the things that they did. And one thing I can tell you, if you are faithful in what you do, or the task that you were given to do, your work, whatever it is that you do, will be successful. Okay? And it goes back to making sure, like the comment earlier, when you use words of affirmation, right, and you believe it, right, then that success in whatever work it is, it may be simple as, oh my gosh, a janitor, right? And that is the position, because I mean, and honestly, just a sidebar. If we didn't have janitors or people that were cleaning the streets or different, how would we survive? Like, everyone cannot be the standard of is so high sometimes. Everyone cannot be up here. Some people got to be in the middle. If we're all up here, then what's going to happen to it's going to be like empty space. That's not how it is. So we have to always understand that success is defined by where you see yourself, how you define that for yourself. Don't let anyone else determine that for you. And if you're faithful in the things that you're doing, that is successful in God's eyes. Okay? If you're listening to God and following the calling He has for you, then you're already successful. If you're doing what He told you to do and, walking in that purpose and being purposeful and intentional in those things, right? Then, of course, you're going to attain that success that you are seeking. Okay? Now, I'm going to go through 3 ways to measure success. Okay, so the best way to measure success is to define what it means and looks like for you, not for anybody else, but for yourself. Okay, and then you will go ahead and assess your progress with these 3 steps that I'm going to tell you. So the first one is, the first one to do that is to adapt. My camera is just doing some funny stuff. Is adapt a personal understanding of what success means to you. Okay, make sure that you understand what success means to you. Okay, and if you're unsure or uncertain, right, then there is room for others to label you as what they think success is for you. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you understand what it means to you first. Number 1. What do you see success through your eyes? What do you see as for your life? Based on your abilities, based on the things that you love to do, based on the things that you like to be a part of. What do you see it as for yourself? Okay? And then if you're now sure about that, then you can't be, you're not going to be in a place where you're not sure, you don't know what it is for you. So when you are doing your calling or doing the things that you're trying to accomplish, then you will not, feel like, okay, well, I'm not successful because John Brown is doing it this way and they're there. You won't feel that way because you have already defined it for yourself. Okay? And help yourself by defining it through people you admire. A lot of times, we, like, for instance, myself, I'm on YouTube and I'm new to YouTube, and I know that I have a goal as to where I would like to be, and things that I would want to accomplish. And there are people that have reached that level. Now, I don't have to want to get to the level where they are, but I may want to attain some of their I would say they're not their success, but where the level that they're at, right? And a lot of times, in order for us to sometimes figure out what it is that we want to do, we have to have some type of model to look at, right? So you want to try to look at people that you admire, right? Someone that is doing something that's similar to what you're doing, and you want to get ideas or understand what it is that you're really doing to make sure, one, that this is the path that you want to take. Okay? So that is number 1. Make sure you understand what it means for yourself. Number 2, success is measured by a state of mind. Measured by a state of mind. Meaning you have to, before I even say that, have you ever handled stress or failure? Have you had any stress? If anybody's still in the chat, drop that in. Have you, how have you handled stress or failure in your life so far? How have you handled it in your life? You drop it in the chat and I will pull it up. Hello, Married Man. Good to have you in the house tonight. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. we are talking about the measure of success. How have you handled that? Major setbacks can either, let me see. Think about COVID. COVID just happened, right? Or almost 2 years now. COVID just happened. And that was a major setback for a lot of people. So if you think about stress and failure, how do you handle it? It could be interpreted either a loss or an opportunity to start something new. A lot of people used the setback from losing their jobs, from, so many different things, and they used it to start something new. There has been so many businesses boomed throughout because of COVID. Okay? Started because of COVID. So how do you handle it? How did you handle it? And we can use COVID as one of the setbacks. And, there may be some other setbacks that you've had, but a lot of people used it as an opportunity to start something new. Okay. So, number 2, you want to change your mindset. Okay. Make sure your mindset is changed. Don't sit and sob, "Oh, COVID, I don't have a job. I'm just going to sit here and wait." No, think of something that you can do. Hello, Sam. You want to, make sure that your mindset has changed. Do not think that, okay, there's nothing for me to do because I was working a job. And so many people created so many new things throughout this pandemic. And then you want to think about, what is your approach? What your approach is going to be. How are you going to get to where you need to go based on the setbacks, the challenges that you faced? What is it that you're going to do? What's your approach? Okay, and if your mindset is positive, right? Because you told yourself you are amazing, you are intelligent, you are extraordinary, you are creative. You told yourself these things. So what is going to be your approach? What approach are you going to take, right, to get to that level, right, of success? You reached where you wanted to reach, and then someone comes and in their mind, their success is, no, you have to be a little bit further. Then that's going to discourage you. That's going to stop you from, even sometimes stop you from continuing or pursuing anything, because you listen to someone else's opinion of what success means for you, and that may not be what it means to you. So don't ever let anyone keep score of your victories. When you get a victory, you take that and you deal with that. You don't allow anyone else to define that you've reached where you wanted to reach. Okay? And absolutely not, don't be stressed out by any negativity from others, like any negative comments, like, okay, well, it's just this you have, or you just have a high school diploma, or you just have a associate's degree, or I have a master's. Don't let anyone stress you out on that. Okay, don't let anyone stress you out on that. They say the grass is never always greener on the other side. Okay, so because you have a master's and I may have a high school diploma, it doesn't mean that I am not going to be able to gain success the way that I'm supposed to gain my success. I know a few people that dropped out of college, right? Did not get a degree, and they were in college and could have walked, like 2 days, they could have gotten their degree, did not get their degree, walked out of college, and now they have a multi-million-dollar business, right? They are more successful than people that have masters and PhD. So don't let anyone define, and it's off of a gift or talent or what they had in their heart that they wanted to do. And a lot of people probably did not agree with them, did not think that was wise or, the right choice, but the person knew what their success looked like. And it wasn't clocking a 9 to 5. It wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. It was doing what they knew could give them the success that they were looking for. So don't ever let anything that's negative from anyone stress you out as to when you have reached a victory, when you have gained something. They tell you that, okay, well, that's not a success. I don't know what that is, but that's not success. Don't let anyone do that, okay? The only stress you should ever impose on yourself is the ones that is within you. No other stress from anybody else, okay? And take that stress and use it to apply energy to the outcome that you're looking for. Okay? Use it to apply energy for whatever you need to do. Take that stress and put it into something so that the outcome for your success will be great. Okay, and those are the 3 points. And I was doing some research and I found some quotes. And the one that I really like was let's see. In my opinion, and this was Richard Branson, in my opinion, that the true success should be measured by how happy you are. Okay? In my opinion, true success should be measured by how happy you are. So it doesn't matter what anybody else think. It doesn't matter what anybody else say or how anybody else may think about what it is that you are doing. True success is measured by how happy you are. And there's one more. Okay, the definition of success is waking up in the morning with a smile on your face, knowing it's going to be a great day. Waking up in the morning with a smile on your face, knowing that it's going to be a great day. Mark Cuban, billionaire investor. Just waking up with a smile on your face. Just waking up with a smile on your face. Was it John Paul DeJoria? Success, he says, success isn't how much money you have. Success is not what your position is. Success is how well you do what you do when nobody else is looking. It's not how much money you have, right? Or what your position is. It's how well you do what you do when nobody else is looking at you. And that right there is it. That's it. That's it right there. Because then you know that's coming from within you. You're not worrying about the naysayers. You're not worrying about anybody saying anything or throwing anything at you. It's how well you do what you do when no one is looking. It's not about wealth. It's not about having a position. It's not about having degrees. It's about doing what you do well when nobody else is looking. And then wake up with a smile on your face every day. Wake up with a smile on your face every day. Okay, so that's the content for tonight. Well, I do have one more thing. Hold on a second. You always tie it in, right, with the source of all of this, right? Romans, let me see if I can pull that up right quick, guys. Romans 12, right? Romans 12, 5 through 8. If you guys are familiar with the scripture, it talks about that each member belongs to all others, right? We all have different gifts according to the grace that was given to each of us. Okay, so if you have a gift of singing or teaching or being a preacher or even if it's just to encourage or just to inspire or just to motivate, whatever your gift is, whatever your talent is, whatever those things are, right? You know, if you do them diligently enough, okay? If you do it diligently, if you're happy about it, if you do it when nobody is looking at you, okay? If you do it with a smile on your face every day, if you do it willingly, because those are the talents and gifts that you were given, right? Then your success, okay? When God doesn't measure our success by how much money and how much things, He measures it by our obedience and faithfulness. if we're obedient to the things that he gives us. You remember the scripture time again. The talents, he gave 1 5, 1 10, and one planted it, but the other one multiplied, right? So your obedience, your faithfulness with the one that you get, you may just have one, right? You may have two if you're faithful with that, if you're diligent in doing that, okay? Right? If you're faithful in doing the work, then you are successful. And I'm telling you, success comes from him. Okay. So if in God's eyes you're successful, okay, and you have faith and you believe in the things that you're doing with all your heart, right? With all your heart, then the measure of your success will be great. Okay? The measure of your success will be great. And you want to be proud of your accomplishments, be proud of where you are. You don't have to be at a place where everyone else expects you to be. Be proud of where you are. Be proud of your accomplishments, right? And if you are, then you are already successful and you're on your way to greatness. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.